The moon landing, flat earth, the Illuminati, all well-known conspiracy theories that have taken the world by storm at some point. And some of these theories have valid points that are brought up that make the conspiracy theory seem more legit. And some of these are on the stupid side that make no sense at all and are just laughable. And that's what we'll be getting into today, the conspiracy theory tier list. I'll be ranking a few very popular conspiracy theories from S to F tier as all tier lists go, and giving my reasoning behind them. This will be a fun video, and before we get into it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's the channel's goal to be at 500,000 before the end of the year, so please subscribe. And alright, anyways, without further ado, let's rank some conspiracy theories. Alright, starting with a very famous one, the moon landing hoax, or just the moon landing. And the moon landing hoax is one of the most enduring and just debated conspiracy theories kind of ever, ranking somewhere in the middle of the tier list in my personal opinion, around sea level. The theory posits that the United States faked the Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969 to win the space race against the Soviet Union, claiming that the footage was filmed on a soundstage, and evidence such as flag movement, lighting anomalies, and no stars in the photos suggest that the whole event was a fabrication and just fake. While the theory has been debunked countless times by experts, including physicists, astronauts, and engineers who have provided compelling evidence such as retroflectors placed on the lunar surface and moon rocks brought back to Earth, it remains a popular subject of online discussions. Detractors of the moon landing point to perceived inconsistencies in the visuals in the complex political climate of the Cold War as motivation for the alleged cover-up and the reason why they would fake it. Ranking it at sea level is due to the fact that while there's an overwhelming amount of evidence supporting the authenticity of the moon landing, some small discrepancies combined with the human tendency to just doubt government narratives continue to fuel this conspiracy theory. And in short, it's famous, but I don't think it's S tier or A tier, so I'm going to put it right in the middle at C tier. The Illuminati. The Illuminati conspiracy theory is a classic, ranking somewhere around B on the tier list. It claims that a secret elite group known as the Illuminati, originating in the 18th century, controls world events, including governments, corporations, and media, to create a new world order. The idea has been fueled by the belief that powerful figures like politicians, celebrities, and business moguls are all members of this secret society, orchestrating global events for their benefit. The origins of the Illuminati date back to 1776, so a long time ago, with a group of intellectuals in Bavaria aiming to promote Enlightenment values and challenge religious and political authorities. However, the group was short-lived, disbanded by the late 18th century. But despite this, the idea of the Illuminati as a shadowy, omnipotent force in global affairs gained momentum in the 20th century, especially with the rise of media outlets like books, films, and websites that all popularized these ideas, and especially the classic pyramid with the eye on top. Ranking it at a B is kind of due to the fact that there's no credible evidence at all supporting the existence of an all-powerful Illuminati in modern times. And the theory draws on real-world examples of secrecy, but it's kind of just really far-fetched. And many of the claims about the Illuminati can be linked to documented instances of powerful groups working behind the scenes, but these instances don't point to a single, unified, global conspiracy. The theory often relies on broad, vague claims that can be interpreted to fit almost any situation, making it easy to believe but very difficult to prove. The theory persists due to its connection to real-world inequalities and distrust of overall politics and political elites, giving it a certain renaissance in the public imagination. However, the complete lack of direct evidence places it firmly in the lower tier of plausibility, but it's still kind of a classic, so that's why I'm ranking it at B tier. And some people say the Illuminati is actually run by lizards, so we're going to be getting into that later in the tier list. JFK assassination. The JFK assassination, in my opinion, is an S tier conspiracy theory. But first, we need to emphasize the lasting impact of the event and the compelling arguments that suggest the possibility of a larger conspiracy. The JFK assassination continues to be one of the most talked about and heavily investigated events in history, especially American history. In the theory that there was a cover-up involving multiple parties, be it the CIA, mafia, or other factions, remains highly plausible due to the persistent questions and inconsistencies surrounding the official narrative. The official story that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in killing President Kennedy has been disputed by a significant portion of the public, with many pointing to discrepancies in the physical evidence such as the trajectory and timing of the shots. The magic bullet theory, which posits that one bullet caused multiple wounds to both JFK and Texas Governor John Connally, is often cited as an evidence of a cover-up. Additionally, the fact that Oswald was killed by Jack Ruby before he could be tried only fueled suspicions of a deeper conspiracy. These inconsistencies, combined with the fact that the US government and intelligence agencies, which have historically been involved in covert operations, are tied to the case, make the conspiracy theory appear much more credible than most. Adding weight to this is the sheer number of credible individuals, such as former FBI agents, authors, and researchers, who have all questioned the official narrative and presented compelling alternative theories. Various investigations, including the Warren Commission, have been heavily criticized for their lack of transparency and overall failure to thoroughly investigate all possible leads. The public's mistrust of the government, especially in the aftermath of the Vietnam War and the Watergate scandal, have only contributed to the suspicion that something larger was at play. Considering the complexity of the event, the number of unanswered questions, and the genuine possibilities of government involvement or manipulation, the JFK assassination conspiracy theory can be ranked at S tier comfortably, in my opinion. And this is just one of my favorite conspiracy theories, and something even more excited is a few days ago, or weeks ago, whenever you're watching this, President Donald Trump has said he will release the JFK files. So we'll see how this stands against the test of time, but that'll be interesting for sure. Area 51 and aliens. The Area 51 and aliens conspiracy theory would likely rank in the A tier of the conspiracy theory tier list. This theory claims that the US government is hiding evidence of extraterrestrial life and advanced alien technology at the secretive military base Area 51, located in the vast desert of Nevada. The theory suggests that the government has been conducting secret research on crashed UFOs, including the infamous Roswell incident of 1947, and that extraterrestrial beings have made contact with humans. Area 51, being a highly classified military site, has fueled speculation for decades, with proponents of the theory pointing to the government's refusal to disclose details about the base and the strange lights and phenomena reported in the area as evidence of an ongoing cover-up. The theory's plausibility is bolstered by the fact that Area 51 is a real, highly secretive military facility where classified experiments and technologies are tested, particularly related to aircraft and the weapons. The idea that the government could be hiding alien technology fits within the framework of the base's secretive nature. Additionally, sightings of unidentified flying objects or UFOs in the vicinity, coupled with the famous 2019 Storm Area 51 event that drew thousands of people, have kept the theory in the public eye. However, while the theory has remained popular for decades, it suffers from a lack of hard evidence. The US government has consistently denied the presence of extraterrestrial technology or alien life at Area 51, and most UFO sightings have been explained away as experimental aircraft or misidentified natural phenomena. Additionally, many of the claims surrounding Area 51 are based on anecdotal reports or unverified testimonies, which do not provide concrete proof of alien activity or government cover-ups. And as I've kind of gone over the script and just recorded this, I kind of want to take it down from A tier. I don't think it deserves A tier. I really don't think aliens are at Area 51. I think they wouldn't make it that obvious. So we're going to bump Area 51 and aliens all the way down to D tier. So let me know if you think that's valid down below in the comments. Chemtrails. The chemtrails conspiracy theory would likely rank in the F tier, in my opinion, as it is widely regarded as just unfounded, irrational, and overall lacking any sort of scientific basis. The theory of chemtrails claims that the visible contrails left behind by aircraft are actually chemtrails, a term used to suggest that governments or other organizations are secretly dispersing chemicals into the atmosphere for purposes such as weather control, population control, or mind control. Proponents of this theory argue that the chemicals in the contrails are harmful, and they often point to their persistence in the sky or unusual cloud patterns as evidence of the supposed spraying. The lack of credible scientific support for the chemtrails theories is one of its most glaring issues. Contrails, which are formed when hot, humid air from jet engines mixes with the colder, low-pressure air at high altitudes, are well understood by meteorologists and atmospheric scientists. They are composed primarily of water vapor and do not contain harmful chemicals, as claimed by conspiracy theorists. In fact, there has been no verifiable evidence to support the idea that large-scale chemical spraying is occurring in the skies. Extensive studies and tests on air quality have found no significant presence of unusual chemicals linked to aircraft contrails. The theory thrives on a combination of mistrust in governments, misunderstanding of atmospheric science, and a general suspicion of large organizations. It also gained traction in the 1990s when individuals began reporting unusual patterns in the sky, which, while explainable by weather phenomena, were interpreted as deliberate chemical dispersion. However, despite the theory's persistence in some circles, the scientific community has overwhelmingly debunked it. Governments have not been found to have been secretly dispersing chemicals through aircraft, and no credible evidence exists to support these claims. The chemtrails theory relies heavily on misunderstanding natural phenomena and misrepresenting legitimate scientific explanations as sinister conspiracies. Because of its lack of factual support and reliance on unfounded claims, the chemtrails conspiracy is one of the least plausible and most easily debunked theories, making it deserving of an F tier ranking. Roswell UFO incident. The Roswell UFO incident ranks in the C tier, in my opinion, of the conspiracy theory tier list. The event in question occurred in 1947 when a mysterious object crashed near Roswell, New Mexico. The U.S. military initially issued a statement that a flying disc had been recovered, but within hours, they retracted that statement, claiming it was a weather balloon. Pretty sus, if you ask me. But this reversal, combined with subsequent reports of strange materials recovered from the site, ignited widespread speculation that the crash was not of a weather balloon, but rather a UFO, possibly involving extraterrestrial beings or aliens. The Roswell UFO incident has remained one of the most famous and enduring UFO-related conspiracy theorists just kind of ever. Advocates for the extraterrestrial theory argue that the US government covered up the recovery of a crashed alien spacecraft and the bodies of its occupants. Eyewitness testimonies, mysterious government actions, and the sudden retraction of the original military statement have all been cited as evidence of a cover-up. While the theory has some intriguing elements, it lacks solid evidence to substantiate the idea that the origin that crashed at Roswell was of extraterrestrial origin or an alien. In fact, subsequent investigations, including a 1994 U.S. Air Force report, concluded that the crashed disc was actually part of a secret military project called Mogul, which involved high-altitude balloons used for surveillance during the Cold War. The materials that witnesses claimed were unusual were found to be part of these military balloons, not alien technology. The conspiracy theory continues to thrive due to the secrecy surrounding the initial military response, the involvement of the government in classified projects, and the broad cultural fascination with UFOs and extraterrestrial life. The public's mistrust of the government, especially during the post-World War II era, also plays a significant role in perpetuating the theory. Despite the official explanations and declassified documents debunking the extraterrestrial claims, the Roswell UFO incident remains a central piece of UFO lore. It is a compelling conspiracy theory in the sense that it is tied to a real historical event, but its lack of credible evidence for alien involvement places it in C tier. It's plausible that the government could have mishandled the situation or covered up aspects of the event, but there's no definitive proof linking Roswell to alien life, making it a highly debated but ultimately less substantiated theory. Reptilian overlords. The reptilian overlords is a hilarious conspiracy theory, but I would rank it firmly in the F tier, as it is one of the most outlandish and completely implausible theories in the realm of conspiracy lore. This theory posits that shape-shifting reptilian extraterrestrials, often referred to as reptilians, secretly control world governments, corporations, and other key institutions. According to proponents of the theory, these reptilian beings have infiltrated positions of power, disguising themselves as humans, and are using their influence to manipulate global events for their own sinister purposes. The theory was popularized by David Icke, a British conspiracy theorist, who claims that many of the world's elite figures, including political leaders, celebrities, and royalty, are actually reptilian aliens or hybrids. The concept draws from various myths and legends of reptilian creatures, blending them with a mix of weird science fiction, paranoia, and anti-government sentiment. It suggests that these beings have been manipulating humanity for millennia, either to maintain control over Earth or to harvest resources. The reptilian overlords theory is widely dismissed as just nonsensical or without any sort of credible evidence. No physical or scientific proof exists to suggest that shape-shifting reptilian aliens are controlling human society. Most of the claims supporting this theory are based on misinterpretations of public figures' appearances, gestures, or behavior, and the theory often relies on unfounded speculation, fantasy, and a belief in widespread government cover-ups. What makes this theory especially implausible is its reliance on the idea of a vast global conspiracy that operates with an extreme level of secrecy, despite the fact that no credible individuals, researchers, or governments have ever produced evidence to support such a claim. The supposed shape-shifting nature of the reptilians is often attributed to video footage or photos in which individuals allegedly display glitches that are more easily explained by technological errors, poor lighting, or camera effects rather than them being a freaking, reptilian. Given its reliance on fantastical, unverifiable claims and the complete lack of scientific or factual support, the reptilian overlords theory is among the most absurd and unsubstantiated of conspiracy theories, making it a perfect candidate for the F tier. It falls into the realm of pure fiction and lunacy and is not a theory that holds any real credibility or possibility. HAARP and weather control. This one is similar to the chemtrail sort of thing, but a little bit different. The HAARP and weather control conspiracy theory would go around the C or B tier, in my opinion. But HAARP stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, is a real scientific research facility located in Alaska, primarily used for studying the ionosphere and its effects on communication and navigation systems. However, it has been the subject of various conspiracy theories, with some claiming that HAARP is capable of manipulating the weather, triggering natural disasters, or even controlling minds. Proponents of these theories argue that the US government and military are using HAARP, okay, that is such a mouthful, I'm gonna just call it HAARP now, but are using HAARP to experiment with weather warfare or to manipulate global weather patterns for political or military purposes. The theory gained traction in the 1990s and 2000s when HAARP's complex technologies and the secretive nature of its operations led some to speculate that it was being used for nefarious purposes. This was compounded by conspiracy theorists' broader fear of government control and hidden technologies. Some of the specific claims include that HAARP could induce earthquakes, hurricanes, or even droughts, often in relation to global power struggles. While HAARP does have the ability to influence the ionosphere using radio waves, there is no credible evidence to support the notion that it could manipulate weather on a global scale, trigger earthquakes, or cause catastrophic natural events. The facility's research is primarily aimed at understanding the behavior of the ionosphere, which plays a crucial role in radio communication, although in my opinion, I can understand how it seems kind of sus. The scientific community has not found any connection between HAARP, HAARP, and the large-scale manipulation of weather or natural disasters. Despite the lack of solid evidence, the theory persists in part because of a general mistrust of government institutions, as most conspiracy theories are. But the idea that powerful organizations are manipulating weather can be appealing to those who feel that the government is hiding the truth about larger issues. While HAARP's legitimate scientific research can be misunderstood or misrepresented, and its connection to weather-related claims is an interesting point of discussion, the lack of tangible proof or scientific support for weather control through HAARP places the theory in the B tier, in my opinion. It remains a highly speculative theory with a foundation in real-world technology, but the exaggeration of its capabilities pushes it to a lower tier of plausibility, and that's what makes it not an A tier or S tier, for example. Flat Earth theory. The flat Earth theory would undoubtedly rank in the F tier. in my opinion, as it is one of the most widely debunked and thoroughly disproven conspiracy theories in existence. No argue about that. The theory posits that the Earth is not a spherical object, but rather a flat disk with the North Pole at the center and an ice wall surrounding the edges to keep the oceans from spilling over. Proponents of this theory often claim that all evidence to the contrary, including centuries of scientific research and the overwhelming consensus of modern astronomy, has been fabricated by governments, scientists, and other institutions in order to maintain control over the masses, even though what control do they have? Like, what's the difference between the Earth being flat in a circle or a globe or a sphere, whatever? I mean, pretty dumb. But the theory relies on a series of misunderstandings, distortions, and outright falsehoods about basic physics, astronomy, and geology. For example, flat earthers often argue that the horizon appears flat rather than curved, or that the Earth's shadow on the moon during a lunar eclipse proves that Earth is flat. These claims ignore basic scientific principles and decades of evidence supporting the fact that the Earth is an oblate spheroid. In reality, the curvature of the Earth can be easily observed through various means, including satellite images, the flight paths of airplanes, and the way ships disappear over the horizon. The persistence of the flat Earth theory can be attributed to a combination of extreme skepticism, the spread of misinformation, and a general distrust of scientific authority. Social media and conspiracy theorist communities have played a big role in keeping the theory alive, with individuals cherry-picking facts and engaging in alternative explanations that disregard well-established scientific principles. However, these explanations are not based on real evidence, but on conspiracy-driven narratives that actively ignore or distort reality. The flat Earth theory is not just highly implausible, but also completely contradicted by centuries of observations and evidence from a wide range of scientific disciplines. The overwhelming consensus among scientists, astronomers, and geologists is that the Earth is spherical, and this fact has been verified through various methods such as space exploration, satellite imagery, and physical measurements. Because of its total lack of scientific credibility, the flat Earth theory is not only easily debunked, but also a clear example of a conspiracy theory that holds no basis in reality, deserving of the F tier ranking. The Bermuda Triangle in the final conspiracy theory of the video, and the one that we'll be ranking, but the Bermuda Triangle is a conspiracy theory that I'd probably rank at B or A tier, and I'll probably bump it up to A tier since we haven't had many of those. But this theory centers around the idea that a section of the Atlantic Ocean, bound by points in Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, is a hotspot for unexplained disappearances of ships and aircraft. It has been the subject of intense speculation for decades, with proponents suggesting that the area is cursed, home to alien activity, or the site of secret military experiments. The Bermuda Triangle's mystery gained prominence in the 20th century, with famous disappearances like Flight 19, a squadron of U.S. Navy bombers, in 1945, and the loss of the USS Cyclops in 1918, as well as numerous other incidents involving ships and aircraft. The unexplained nature of these events led some to propose that unusual environmental factors like magnetic anomalies or underwater UFO bases could be responsible for the disappearances. Some more outlandish theories even claim that Bermuda Triangle is a gateway to another dimension or a time portal. However, many of these disappearances can be just attributed to more mundane cases such as navigational errors, severe weather, or mechanical failure. In fact, studies show that the rate of incidences in the Bermuda Triangle is not significantly higher than other heavily traveled regions of the world's ocean. The myth of the Bermuda Triangle has also been perpetuated by sensationalized books, movies, and documentaries, which often embellish or misrepresent the facts. While the mystery surrounding the Bermuda Triangle has a certain appeal, there's little evidence to suggest that it is more dangerous than any other part of the ocean. The theory persists primarily because of the region's atmospheric mystery, combined with a human tendency to find supernatural or conspiratorial explanations when faced with the unexplained. Given that the Bermuda Triangle is based on real disappearances but easily explained by environmental factors or human error, it sits in the... I did place it at A tier in the beginning, but I might B tier. B or C tier. Maybe in the middle, somewhere in the middle. Bump it down all the way to C tier, A to C tier. I don't know. It just doesn't seem that credible now that I really think about it and reread it. Yeah, C tier for Bermuda Triangle. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me down below. But it's a compelling mystery and a great subject for speculative theories, and it's definitely interesting. And alright guys, that wraps up the conspiracy theory tier list. Let me know down in the comments below, would you like to see a video like this in the future? And if you enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it tons, and I appreciate you watching to the end of the video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. This was Snook, and see you next time.